this beat.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Every single day, y'all. Every single day. You know that you're now rocking with the best. You know you're now rocking with the best. Since you're rocking with the best, come right with your man, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are talking about some recruiting. We're talking about some recruiting for the South Carolina women's basketball team. Three-time national champions. That's what we are going to start with. We're going to talk a little bit about the latest offer that went out to a potentially new player for the South Carolina Gamecocks in the class of 2025. But we're going to talk about her and then circle back to some of the targets that we have for the class of 2025. We're going to circle back and talk about that. We're going to discuss a little bit about ESPN possibly having a women's basketball show. Like, nice concept, right? Nice concept. It's kind of crazy that ain't happened before. We're going to talk about that. Jam-packed show. A little bit more we'll talk about. We're going to talk about the Rookie of the Year debate that's being talked about now with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. We're going to discuss that. What about the Gamecocks? Gamecocks rolling deep in the All-Star game. You talking about A'ja Wilson, best player in the world. We're talking about Aaliyah Boston, and Allisha Gray. Yeah. A lot to talk about tonight. But before we get started, it's 8 o'clock. Actually, it's 8:02 p.m., so it's shot o'clock. And I haven't been on live for a minute since last week, really. And because wifey and I were celebrating our wedding anniversary. So still celebrating our anniversary and continuing on. We went to Cancun and had a great time. So, but it's shot o'clock. It's time to get back to business. Like we do. So it's 8:02. It's shot o'clock. Let's get this thing started. Let's go. So this is what we're going to discuss, right? South Carolina Gamecocks recently, head coach Don Staley recently, offered this young lady a basketball scholarship. Okay, basketball scholarship to come to the University of South Carolina. That's a huge thing. When there's an offer that comes from South Carolina to a young lady, and it adds to her repertoire, adds to her scholarship list. But something about getting an offer from South Carolina makes you stand up and be accounted for. So, this young lady, her name is Jaida Civil. Hope I'm saying the name correctly. It's Jaida Civil. 6 foot wing, guard, shooting guard, however you want to say it, from Vero Beach High School, Florida. Okay, so she's a 4-star recruit. She's currently ranked 40th. In the 2025 ESPN W rankings. Okay, and to put this in context, she just went off. Because this summer there's all kinds of events that's going on. All kinds of things is going on. I call them showcase tournaments. I call them exposure types. So she just went off in this Power 24 exposure camp or exposure event in Ohio. Expect this young lady to rise and excel and jump up the recruiting boards. Okay? She is a baller. And she's ranked 40th, a 4-star recruit. She will be higher. Trust me when I say that. She'll be higher. And the reason I think that Miss Jaida was offered this scholarship at this late in the juncture, July 2024, because we missed out on Jazzy Davison. Yeah, we missed out on Jazzy Davison. She decided to go somewhere else. And when one player moves, or goes to another situation, we just continue, we pivot and get somebody else. So she adds a piece that very similar size. Got a little dog in her. Now. No big twisting now. Got a little dog in her. But Jaida adds to the other 2025 recruits that we've been looking at. Aaliyah Chavez and Bourrage and ZaKiyah Johnson, Agot Makeer and Jailya Davis and Deniya Prawl. Adds to that mix, right? We have multiple players that the Gamecocks are recruiting. Okay, multiple players. And these multiple players that the Gamecocks are recruiting, Aaliyah Chavez just came out and said, you know, she has a top 10 and went through the list of what she's looking for and what's special for each, you know, team. And she obviously she mentioned the Gamecocks and said they've been recruiting her hard and you know, they're always in the top 4 and you know, they always win and things of that nature, saying all the great things, right? I don't believe Aaliyah Chavez is coming to South Carolina. I don't believe that at all. But, you know, it could surprise me. Things happen, but I don't believe she's going to be a Gamecock. I don't. She's a sensational player, great player, and she's going to make somebody happy. Some team, LSU, Texas, you know, TCU, anybody, Texas, whatever. Somebody in Texas, I believe, will get the services of Aaliyah Chavez. And if it's not in Texas, it's going to be, I believe, LSU, which pains me to say, but that's what I believe. We can rock with a player like Bourrage or ZaKiyah Johnson, you know, those combo guards who do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I'm more fond of probably ZaKiyah Johnson, maybe a little bit more fond of her game. But I'm not. We're going to get 2 of these players. We will get 2 of these players. Whatever combination I'm fine with, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool. Because these players aren't going to be counted on to play soon. They ain't be counted on to play soon. That's probably why, and I can only speculate. This is just Captain Will just speculating. That's probably why, you know, Jailya Davidson decided to go somewhere else. I believe that. That's probably why Aaliyah Chavez is going to decide to go somewhere else. I do. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind that both are amazing, sensational players. But I don't believe for a second that either one of those players are going to sit behind a Malaysia forward, a Tessa Johnson next year. A Raven Johnson next year when she comes back, if she does not decide to go to the W. Okay, let's be clear. I don't believe that. I believe that either one of those players, you can throw a Bourrage in there as well, are going to just move. They want to play 30, 35 minutes a game. Not going to happen with the University of South Carolina. Not going to happen. So it's a matter of talent fitting in. That's the question, I guess. Is it a matter of talent fitting in with us, or we fitting with the talent? I believe that it's talent trying to fit in with us, because you have to like really, you got to slow roll it. You got to slow roll. And when I say slow roll it, you got to really like slow up and say, okay, I know that there's talent above me, and I'm just gonna have to wait a little while. I can contribute, but I'm gonna have to wait a little while. This is the problem I believe that's going on with South Carolina in the future, in the next few years, because it's so stacked for the next few years, right? You are going to have to wait in order to get playing time for South Carolina. You know, Agot Makeer, I love her game. Jailya Davis, Deniya Prawl, not talking enough about her as well. And also, Don just offered 2 young ladies in the 2026 class. So recruiting never stops. Never stops. Never pause. None of those things ever happen with recruiting for South Carolina. But I think that and also here's a situation. Here's a situation, right? NIL is a big piece. NIL is a big piece now in sports. So I don't think that South Carolina would have a tough time trying to sell the championships and the rings and the most talented rosters in the country. I don't believe that whatsoever. Only thing they can have a problem with is playing time. Only thing Coach Staley can be is just be real. Be real. Like, okay, there's a lot of players, a lot of talent that's ahead of you, and you're going to have to wait your turn in order to contribute to this program. You're not going to have, some of these players ain't no Bree Hall. Some of these players ain't no Sanaya Fagan. Some of these players are not that type of ilk. Well, okay, I'm going to chill, I'm going to wait. I might win a championship or two, but I'm going to bounce. Some of these players might be like a Talia Cooper. Some of these players might be like a Sanaya Rivers. So, yo, I'm okay, I'm good, but I'm going to go somewhere else so I can play a whole lot. But it's fine. Hope you get what you want. Hope you get what you want. But the talent resides at the University of South Carolina. It's always going to be that way. It's always going to be that way. It is what it is. It is what it is. But Jaida Civil is a baller. She's a baller. She can handle the ball. She can play defense. She can rebound. She has a jumper. She can do. It was a clip that I saw for this week where she hit 3 or 4 straight 3-pointers. She's a baller. And she fits in the mold of a Bree Hall. She fits in the mold of a Tessa Johnson. Fits in that mold. And you know, I always talk about, you know, point guards, and Coach Staley always gets a point guard every single year. I always talk about that, right? But she gets a big wing every single year too. And she could be the next one in line. We will see. We will see. Let's discuss a little bit about this possible new ESPN women's basketball show. This new, the talent is budding everywhere. Oh, everybody's talking about women's basketball on the college level, on the WNBA level, on the international. Everybody's talking about it, right? Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. It is amazing. It's awesome. The eyeballs are starting to watch women's basketball. It's dope. It's great. It's great. But it's always been here. It's always been here. Always been here. There's been amazing talent at the women's basketball level for so long. Starting to get a shine. Y'all saw that whole huge NBA TV media package that's going down $70-some billion over the next 10 years, right? Saw that? But did you also see the WNBA slice of that pie? Because the WNBA is getting $2.2 billion. $2.2 billion. Upwards of $200 to $250 million in this new deal over the next 10 years that could just keep growing and growing and growing with sponsorships and everything else. So, for those of you who don't know, WNBA getting about $50 million in their TV deal. About 50. This new one, about 250. So we wanted the contracts to change. Well, it's about to change. Contracts about to change. They're on the same channels that the NBA going to be on. The NBC's going to NBC and Amazon and ESPN, all these huge platforms. This is great for women's sports. The salary is going to increase. The likelihood of our better players going over to play in foreign countries hopefully is over after next season. Hopefully so. You have to do that because you're making, let's say, and when this deal goes out, you talk about players going to be making about $1 million. About $1 million. And it's only going to go up. It's only going to go up. So the Agent Wilsons, she got to go overseas because she got so many deals and on so many commercials. I'm so proud of this young lady. So proud. But we already know that Camila Cardozo, if you didn't know, Camila Cardozo is signed to play in China. after this season. After the WNBA season, she's going to China to go play. Hopefully those days will stop. This is huge for basketball. So I'm not sure of what type of women's basketball program it's going to be. Not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to cover WNBA. I'm not sure if it's going to cover college basketball. I'm not sure. High school, whatever the case may be. Hopefully it'll be a year-round thing like NBA Today is. Hopefully so. And if that's the case, I have my favorites who I would like to host this show. Obviously, Elle Duncan. I would like to host this show. Obviously, Carolyn Peck. I would like to host this show. Andrea Carter. We can have a rolling thing. And Shanae Gubacay. I mean, so many different players. So many different former players and media personalities that can host this show and give that insight that we need to make the sport grow. You can break it down and say, hey, we have college hosts. Man, do it. Man, do you not the same ones to talking NBA or talking college basketball? Same different things. Whatever the expertise is, that's what we can do. So everybody gets that spotlight. It's so awesome. So awesome to see. And this thing gonna continue to grow. You know, a new team getting at it next year. New team getting at it next year. So there'll be 12 more spots. And I'm upset once again, that our young queen, Henny, Destiny Henderson, was waived by the Atlanta Fever once again. Did I say I watched the Atlanta Fever's games, over the past, 2 weeks? I'm not gonna say a lot, but I was seeing the spot scores because she was signed to one 7-day contract. Oh, now we're gonna sign into another 7-day contract. Oh, well, the spot scores that I saw her delivering. I saw her scoring. I saw her playing some really good minutes and was cut. Again, I have no idea what the Atlanta Dream is doing. I have no idea. I don't know. I have no clue as to what the Atlanta Dream are doing. Beyond me. It's really beyond me. I don't know what they're doing. No idea. No idea. It's really crazy. Really crazy. And hopefully they get it right. Hopefully they get it right. Lamar Donald, what's up, my brother? What's going on? How you doing? Robert Anderson said, hey, Cap, I can't wait till those three-time champs show up and show out. Then what ESPN going to say now? It's shot o'clock. You already know. Robert Anderson, you already know, brother. You already know. And, we still got well over 100 days before the season began. Well over 100 days. So we're going to do a whole lot of talking in between now and then. But I saw this thing on On3 where, they have Gamecocks ranked in the too early pro preseason. Southern Cal ranked number 1, South Carolina number 2. That's cool. It's really silly, but that's cool. If ESPN follows suit with On3, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I got a long time to lose my mind. Long time. John Carter said, "What's up, Cap? Have a wonderful weekend. You already know, brother. You as well, Brenda SC. Congratulations. Thank you. Anniversary was amazing. My wife is amazing. We had a great time, and we it's a joy to marry your best friend. It's a joy that we don't argue, and she lets me be me, and I let her be her, and we rock with that. So it's so cool, so cool. Miracle Writer for you. Hi, Cam. Well, I was visiting your area over the weekend. Oh, that's what's up. Okay. Robbie Wilson. Rob, my dude. Robbie Wilson is my homeboy since 2010, 14 years. And homeboy from the Army. Know a whole lot about me. I know a whole lot about him. And we've been rocking together for a long time. Robbie says, so is Don using that old Dean Smith type approach, not having players average successive minutes, but getting the total team effort? Brother, you got it. Yes. And that is like new that's a new concept in this era of basketball. Because when you have players, you have teams like LSU who legitimately played 6 players. They literally played 6 players and to the tongues was wagging down. They didn't have no energy, and they're walking up and down the courts. It almost got them. It almost got them to a championship though, because they had a generational talent like Angel Reese on the basketball team. She almost drugged that team to a championship to play potentially against a team like South Carolina, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So whatever, it didn't ever. And we would have played. I did not want to play LSU again. But because of playing teams so often. But UConn played roughly 6 or 7 players throughout the year. The problem that happens when those teams play, because they want to play, they want to keep their best talent on the court at the same time, and because they don't have as much depth, right? It's almost the NBA concept when we go to the playoffs. So we're going to shorten our bench to 8 players, 7, 8 players. But what happens when your 7 players are dope? They're great. They're amazing, right? Your 7 players match our 7 players, okay? That's fine, because everybody have the opportunity to recruit. But when your 7 players get tired, we got another 4 who are just as good. And last time I checked, our 11 beat y'all 7 every time, because y'all get tired. So when y'all get tired, we subbing in either another 5 or another 4 who are all 5-star recruits, who all recruited highly, who all are sensational McDonald's All-Americans. And then South Carolina takes over. I think that, Rob, I think that we have to kind of just fire a little bit and look at this era. Because I'm gonna say the Carolina era is gonna be here for a long, long time. It's already been here for a long time. But I dare to say over the next 4 years, I'm saying it right now, over the next 4 years, 2 to 3 more championships over the next 4 years. That's how I feel about South Carolina. We are in the beginning stages of the dynasty of Dawn Staley. We're in the beginning stages. 2 out of the last 3 championships. What if that turns to 3 out of the next 4? 4 out of the next 6, 5 out of the next 7. What are they going to say then about South Carolina? What you going to say? I smile. Is that the weight? Is the weight your turn approach starting to hurt South Carolina? No, not at all. Thank you for the comment. Not at all. Not at all, because there's so many talented players. So many talented players. So we might not get a Aaliyah Chavez. That's cool. That's cool. I'm good with that. That's fine. That's fine. We might not get a Jailya Davis. That's fine. Because last year, there were some players that I wanted that we didn't get. There's some players. There are. I wanted Jordan Lee. Didn't get her. I wanted Kennedy Smith. Didn't get her. I wanted Justice Carlton. Didn't get her either. But you know who we got? Hell, I wanted Sarah Strong. Didn't get her either. We got Joyce Elvis, who ended up being the #1 player in the country. We got Maddie B. Daniels, 12th, 13th player in the country, depending on what metric you look at. We got Adele Tack, who just won a championship, medical red shirt, who's another 5-star recruit, ranked, 25th in the country. I'm good with that, because you got players who are all talented, because sometimes there's apples and oranges, but numbers are numbers, because it's kind of tough to compare 5-star recruits to 5-star recruits and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So it's more about, in my opinion, it's more about volume versus the individual player. South Carolina, it says that we got the 3rd ranked recruiting class. I don't think that's true. I don't believe that whatsoever. In my opinion, we got 2nd or maybe even 1st. So in 2025, we'll do something similar, in that class. We'll finish in the top 5. And when you are, because this is the thing, right? We're recruiting. These teams now, the Juju Watkins, the Hannah Hidalgos, going to teams to be it, to be the new superstar, to be the SB breakthrough talent. That's cool. That's great for those individuals. But the best team is South Carolina. Even with all the transfers that went to Southern Cal, all the movement, Oregon State decimating their program and going here and going there, all those things. Kentucky bringing Virginia Tech down to Kentucky. Maryland getting so many transfers. LSU getting 3-4 transfers. South Carolina got one. Got one transfer. Remember when that happened last season? Tina Pau was rated the 7th ranked, player in the transfer portal. You see what happened with that? LSU, the dream team, number 1 in transfer portal, number 1 in recruiting class. This class of 2024 is about 2026. This class of 2024 ain't even about this season. And it's not about the season whatsoever. These 3 players, even though Joyce Edwards is the number 1 player in the country, and Maddie, number 2 ranked point guard in the country, Adele Tack, at the time she was like third or 4th post player in the country. Because don't forget, and a lot of folks are forgetting how good Adele Tack is or was. Her junior year, Adele Tack was ranked top 15 in the country, top 12 by some metrics. Got hurt. Then got hurt again in the senior year. What if Adele Tack is that top 10 talent that she was her junior year? I think she is. You gonna have a budding star with her. But they're not counting on in 2024. Those players that I mentioned, Jordan and Justice, going to Texas, they're going to have to ball. Now, Texas is going to be a great, great basketball team this year. But they got a ball. They are going to that team, and they're going to get nice minutes. But this 2024 team, this 2024 recruiting class is about 2026. And that 2025 recruiting class next season is about 2027. A lot of teams can't say that or do that because they're depending on those freshmen to come in and get 30, 32 minutes and be that star. South Carolina doesn't. A'ja Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, Allisha Gray. A'ja Wilson, Aaliyah Boston, and Allisha Gray are going to the WNBA All-Star game. Rightfully so. Now, I can nitpick the rosters to the cows come home. I have no idea what that term means, to the cows come home. Don't know what it means. I'm country and I still don't know what it means. But the fan voting and the media voting and the coaches voting and everybody getting the vote and all those cool things, but was normalized or was weird in a lot of these rosters. And hell, we can talk about the Team USA roster. Are very offensive driven. And I'm from the notion that you play both sides of the court, things like that. But there's too much credit that goes on the offensive side of the ball versus the defensive side of the ball. And then they throw in that two-way player crap. And I'm like, okay, what? I believe that A'ja Wilson is the best women's basketball player walking planet Earth. Believe that. She's leading the league in rebounds, points, block shots. That's A'ja Wilson. Excellent defender. Now, Las Vegas Aces as a whole have took a step back because defense has become optional for them. That's why they were struggling earlier in the year. And also they was missing Chelsea Gray, but their defense still ain't playing well. Indiana Fever, this is what irritates me a little bit. Indiana Fever has 3 All-Stars, but what, 7th out of 12 teams? Aaliyah Boston has been balling out for the last month. Balling out of control. And there was so much, where are those people? Like the first few games of the season was just coming at Aliyah. Like, whoa, where are they at with all that mess? All-star. Double-double. One of the few players on Indiana's team who actually play defense. One of the few. Allisha Gray, I wish she was on a better team. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I wish she was on a better team. She is the heart and soul right now for Atlanta, but Atlanta's not a good basketball team. They're not. Ryan Howard, is she still injured? Tina Charles, still a good player even at her age. I mean, I wish she was on another team. What if Allisha Gray was on? What if she was on Connecticut with our girl Ty Harris? What if she was with Chicago Sky, with Kennedy Carter, with Camila Cardozo, Angel Reese? Now they just did a trade, trying to fix some things in that guard rotation. But Allisha Gray, I believe her talent's being wasted in Atlanta. And I believe she needs to demand a trade. Get up out of there. Get out of there. Go to the Sparks. Go wherever. Go to Minnesota. But get out of Atlanta. Get out of Atlanta. And this whole thing about the skills competitions and the Rookie of the Year type things that's going down in this WNBA All-Star weekend. And the biggest news is Caitlin Clark ain't shooting in the three-point contest. Sabrina Ionescu isn't participating in the three-point contest. I had some feelings about that, and these are the feelings right here. The feelings about those two stellar players offensively not participating in the culmination event, the All-Star weekend, and trying to grow the sport, right? That's what we're talking about, trying to grow the sport. And it was all this hoopla. Oh my God. All this stuff going on because Caitlin Clark did not get chosen for the Team USA. But if you look at the roster and actually watch the games, and she's playing much more efficient basketball. She had 18, 19 assists the other day. Sensational. But she still set the record, because she set the record for the most assists in a WNBA game in the history of ever. But she also, on a footnote, set the record for the most turnovers in WNBA history as well. So it comes, it's up, you get the filet mignon, so you get the top sirloin, or you get that wagyu beef, that Japanese wagyu beef that costs like $300-400, whatever it is. But you also the best that you can get, but also you get some of the worst that you can get too when you're dealing with Caitlin Clark. And I believe she'll grow from it, she'll get better and all these cool things. But with the turnovers and lack of defense. But the question shouldn't be, should she be in the three-point contest, which she is the most popular, Caitlin Clark is the most popular female basketball player in the world. Make no mistake about it, she is. But She's shooting 34% from three. Does anybody ever talk about that? She's shooting 34% from the three-point line. Does anybody mention that in conversations? But we always hear about those logo three-pointers. What we should be talking about is, Caitlin, go up further. Don't try those logo three-pointers. Get right near the line because you're shooting 34%. And the person that you're guarding on defense is averaging 43 to 48% field goal percentage and are shooting a higher three-point percentage than you are. That should be the question. Or the notion. And Sabrina shooting a better three-point percentage than her. And she did the whole, it just bugs me out sometimes when players, we get a hoopla about certain things and we don't get a hoopla about other things. And folks was ready to, I don't know, do some just craziness, right? By the Team USA, but then have an opportunity to play and participate in the three-pointer contest because people want to watch Caitlin Clark, and she's participating in the All-Star game. So, what the hell? That just bugs me out. I'm tripping on that. I don't get it. I really don't. But stuff is crazy. This stuff is crazy. Margaret W. Hi, remember they cut Kennedy. Kennedy Carter has turned out. What's up as well, too. Kennedy Carter is because this is her first year starting. And she didn't start at the beginning of the year. Her first step is crazy. Her first step is like, I don't know who. Her first step is so crazy. I mean, her first step, and I don't want to say it like this right here because she's still so young in her career. Malaysia Fulwiley. That's Kennedy Carter. In terms of first steps. It's crazy. LB said the coach from the dream has no idea what she is doing as well. I'd be clueless sometimes watching. Can somebody free Letitia Meeher? Can somebody let her play? I don't know if she can play in the W because she ain't playing. She barely played in 2 years. Top 10 pick. She's gonna be playing for Canada. We'll see Letitia Meeher play more. We'll see her play more in the Olympics than we have seen for the Atlanta Dream in 2 years. What the hell? What is that? That's craziness to me. Rob, the WNBA really needs to add at least 2 teams. Too many ladies out there getting waived with no place to go. You're right, brother. You're right. And right now, the expectation, they're going to add another team. Add one team each year for the next 4 years. I wish one of those teams would be Charlotte. Can you imagine if the Charlotte Sting was to come back to Charlotte with me here? Oh, my God. I don't know what I'd do with myself. I find a job working for them. I really would. Crystal Scott, what's up? South Carolina women's basketball team will be national champions once again. Yes, we will. We will. And we will. We will. Can't wait for it. Rookie of the Year debate. You know, I've seen so many people talk about the Rookie of the Year, all these different things in the WNBA. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, They are the two buzzwords. They are the two topics in the Rookie of the Year now, because you got whatever order you have, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, or Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and then you got probably third ZaKiyah Johnson, And then you got fourth, Camila Cardozo, and then you got Aaliyah Edwards. You know, Cameron Brink ain't nowhere to be found because she got injured. And a lot of folks are talking about Carolyn Peck. Oh, Lord, what? Why did she say this? She chose Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark. Oh my God, what are they doing? The best point guard in the history of the world. Yo, it's just like this right here. It's just like, when I'm saying this right here, man, I'm just like this. If you look at efficiency, you're talking about Angel Reese. If you're looking at defense, you talk about Angel Reese. It's not a conversation. Not a conversation. Now, Angel Reese ain't shooting about 40%, 39, 40% from the field. So in some instances, she's getting the rebound from a shot that she already missed. You know what I'm saying? But she's a dog and she's in there and she fights and she fights and she fights, much like she did at LSU. You know what I'm saying? So you get that with her. Caitlin Clark, you are getting a more efficient point guard Indiana plays at a fast pace and they make a lot of turnovers. And the bulk of those come from Caitlin Clark. And then folks say, oh, they got to catch a ball. Like, damn, what? Can the girl do anything wrong? Can't she do anything wrong? It's comical sometimes, man. When you point out the faults in some players, but you still highlight because she sees the floor like none other. That's Caitlin Clark. She does. She sees the floor. And you talk about Sue Bird-ish. Wonderful. Wonderful. But she don't play no defense. So if you're talking about the most efficient, in terms of the rookies, efficient offensively and defensively is Angel Reese. And it really ain't close by those metrics. It ain't close. And they'll be talking about this to the end of the season. And that's cool. Doc Glover said, Cap, they have a real chance of breaking UConn's win streak. They really do. Now, this year right here is going to be challenging. Every year is challenging because of the schedule. But this year going to be challenging because they are playing Texas twice. They're playing LSU. But it's at home. I don't think LSU going to be as strong as last season because they have not replaced Angel Reese. No. I think Anissa Morrow is going to be better. I believe that Michaela Williams is going to be better. I believe that Flage is going to be better. But they still don't have a dog in the post position. They don't. But they'll be playing in South Carolina. Now, obviously, you know, a non-conference schedule is what it is. UCLA and, you know, Michigan and Iowa State and hopefully it'll be Southern Cal. We got Duke, got North Carolina State, got all these different teams. So it's going to be challenging. But this is the best basketball team to ever be at the University of South Carolina. Ever. So I have the utmost confidence that this team is going to show up and show out. Ball out. I believe it. Robert, sup, Captain Will? Nah, brother, that ain't happening. John Carter Cap, I love how you bring the truth. Stay blessed, mighty, and strong. Appreciate you, brother. I try. I be wrong sometimes, but I try to say what some folks don't say. You know, I try to keep it real. Robert Whitaker, what's up, brother? I think Adam Ward, WNBA teams will water down the league even more. There's a reason the girls on the bench aren't playing. These girls are missing too many layups. Brother, I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because you have, you only have 144 slots in the WNBA. 12 teams, 144 slots. And ain't no G League, ain't no developmental league, ain't none of those things. And you have college stars who can't get on the floor. Because you get a player drafted Almost shook everything up. You get a player drafted, first, second round. But you go to a team that only have maybe a slot or two on their roster. And your favorite college star who's balling out in college, and you're saying keep missing these layups. Those are the same players who are leading their teams to the Final Four, to championships, all those things. You have Celeste Taylor, balled out of Ohio State. First round pick? First round pick, early second round pick. Got cut, then got re-signed. You got Henny, who can't even stay on the team. You got Kiki. It took multiple years to get on a team after she was cut. You got Bree, got cut multiple times. And these are Gamecocks. These are players who we saw, who we knew were fire. We knew they were fire. You got Peely from Utah, who torched us when we played South Carolina. Can't get off the bench at Minnesota. Can't get off the bench. Zaya Cook, superstar at University of South Carolina. Beginning of this season, was not even in rotation. There is not enough teams. We talk about a watered down league. Let's talk. You have a conversation about the NBA. There ain't no reason why they got that many teams in the NBA. And look at that, more expansion. The NBA product has been watered down probably for the last 10, 12 years. You got a lot of these kids, they ain't got no business in the NBA. No business at all. You watch the NBA draft, and you know, you have no idea who these players are. And half of them are international players. You ain't got no idea who the players are. You got people drafted in the freshman season. Imagine this right here. If the NBA system was in the WNBA system, or whereas college players, women's college basketball players only had to play 1 year, be 1 year removed from their graduating high school class. Malaysia Fulweiler would be gone. Should be gone. Tessa Johnson would be gone. Not even on this team, because they would have been gone after their first year. That's how the men's college basketball does it. And then you hope they mature and get better and matriculate. And you can talk about Juju, and you can talk about Hannah Doggo. All these great players that we saw, freshmen, will be gone. Because you're projecting how they'll be really 3 years from now. That is the greatness of what I love about women's college basketball and women's sports. You basically fall in love with them. You really do. You fall in love with them because they are, we watch them in some cases a junior year in high school, senior year in high school. Then they stay 4 years, sometimes 5 years in college, and then they go to the W. It's like, yo, I've been watching this young lady since she was 16 years old. Or some cases like Fulweiler, I've been watching this young lady since she was in the 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? So, but the dudes, like, what the hell? Who that? Such and such only averaged 4 points, and they're putting in for the NBA draft. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Robert said, can't look at shooting percentage. Most players in the W shoot a bad percentage. Have you seen Angel Reese's percentage? And she's a center. Bro, most players in the W don't shoot a bad percentage. Angel Reese shoots a bad percentage, but most players do not shoot a bad percentage. They don't. They don't. The person who I believe is going to win the 3-point shooting contest. And I want to say Allisha Gray is going to win it. I do. I really do want to say that. But I think Kayla McBride is going to win the 3-point contest. And quiet as it's kept, she's having a straight up sensational year this year that nobody is talking about. It really upsets me that nobody's talking about Kayla McBride. Nobody is talking about this young lady who is straight balling out this year. Oh, she averages 16 points. Oh my gosh. Only 16 points. But shooting 45% from the field. Whoa, shooting 43% from three. She don't get the buzz that others do. And averaging like 1, maybe 2 turnovers a basketball game. That's efficiency. That's what I love. That's what I love. That's what I love. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram, Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will process, movement, all those cool things, just go to the homepage of my channel and select. For tomorrow's show, you have some questions, some comments, any of those cool things, you can tweet me, you can DM me, you can email me, and I get it. And I probably will answer your question early on during the show. I will be starting back the call-in version of the show. It may be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. It sounds like a good night to do a call-in show on a Friday night. Chat it up with Captain Will. We're going to continue to make this thing grow. We're going to continue the process. We're going to continue to make this the best Gamecock women's basketball coverage on the internet. The best podcast, for sure. For sure. And you can get it wherever you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, you can still do the audio version. You're now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.